Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
The Facebook rule is well known. No nudity, no images of naked children. It's pretty easy to understand. But the problem arises when the image in question is considered one of the most important of the 20th century, like this one, the Pulitzer Prize-winning napalm girl of the Vietnam War. The image was recently posted by the Norwegian novelist Tom Egeland as part of a piece on photographs that had changed history. It was soon removed by Facebook, sparking outrage, and the editor of Norway's largest printed newspaper to write an open letter to Mark Zuckerberg. The iconic image was widely shared, including by the Norwegian Prime Minister, until her post was also removed. Just before we came on air, Facebook reversed its decision to remove the photos, and users are now allowed to share it. But does it all call into question both the power and the judgment of the Facebook juggernaut? We're joined by the Norwegian writer himself, Tom Egeland, who posted that original piece. And Tom, thanks very much for joining us this evening. Do you have any sympathy with an organisation that on one hand is being told that it's not responsible enough, and on the other that's being told it's guilty of censorship?
Well, yes, and in fact, I support Facebook's policy against nakedness. We don't want porn on Facebook. So the disagreement, and the great disagreement in this case, is whether or not the iconic picture of this Vietnamese girl is about nakedness. To me, it is not. It is a picture about war, about horror, and about children who are victims of war crimes. And fortunately, Facebook tonight realized that their rather harsh judgment on this picture was wrong, and they have reversed their standpoint.
It's a difficult one, though, isn't it, when there's so much content and there's one algorithm? I mean, if, to take an example, there was a young naked Syrian girl from a war that is still going on, and that was pictured on Facebook, would you consider that to be a moment of history and of war, or of abuse and exposure?
And that is the exact dilemma that has made me want to focus on this case, because unlike BBC, unlike The Times, all newspapers, Facebook does not have an editor. Facebook does not have an institution where somebody evaluates different aspects and different values regarding a picture. To Facebook, the world is a set of algorithms and rules.
Do you think it should be an arbiter then, or should it just be a platform?
They insist they are a technological platform. I disagree. Facebook is so huge, it has so many followers, and all over the world, newspapers use Facebook as a platform for not only spreading their news, but also their reader comment. And if Facebook's rules should override any newspaper rules, then who is the editor? So in my view, Facebook should have not only editors, they should actually have national editors.
So you would actually want to see Facebook becoming, if you like, a world editor of other journals and other publications who use it?
In many ways, Facebook is already those things. In certain regions of the world, Facebook and the internet are the same. To people, the internet is Facebook. And if you see all the newspapers that use Facebook today, I find it hard to differentiate between a technological platform and an editorial platform.
Tom Egeland, it's fascinating to speak to you. Thanks for sharing your story with us. Tom Egeland, the Norwegian writer who we understand is still currently banned from Facebook.
I've been getting away with it.